So Tinder is a play on words from Tinder. It is supposed to be it's a dating app, but it represents the propagation in the forest. Antitoxin is the antivirus, but it's also using the logo of Avast, which is an antivirus you'll find in normal computers. Wood Wide Web is based off the Internet Explorer. It's a browser for the internet, just like the actual Wood Wide Web, which connects all trees, like the internet connects all people. Would You Rather is a game. It's a game for the forest because it's Would You Rather instead of Would You Rather. Biome is another browser, but it represents all different types of forests and where they're located. Fungi is a communications app, but it represents our hiking network with the trees communicating. And Restart is, you can see a tree being chopped down. It's the death of the forest.
Hi, I'm the bird. My whole costume is made with recycled objects. My wings are made with 1,000 different chip bags we collected from a school drive that we then glued on a costume. My mask is made with magazines. My drums are made with old coffee tins that we wrapped around with duct tape. And then my stomach is made by paper macheing a yoga ball with magazines. My shoes are just made with gloves.
This is the headpiece worn by the orchid malware character, who's the main virus character in the play. And it is made up of fans that have been spray painted purple and have been hot glued together with a swim cap so that the character can wear it. And it's also decorated with paper flowers to help show the different flowers that the virus has infected. This is the didgeridoo. It's one of the 4 style elements, and it's one of the instruments used in the performance. It's a piece of bamboo that the team used a wood burning kit to create these patterns and designs on it, as well as painted it. The different paintings represent the different scenes of the play. For example, the tree, like the Mother Nature tree, and then the slugs, like the antivirus slug character, and finally the orchid, which represents the orchid malware character. Thank you.
We made it with bamboo from one of our neighbor's yards and with an old metal kazoo. And I will play it for you. So my main character is the slug. At first, to start off with, we have the eyes of the slug, which are made out of knitting needles, and end up being used as mallets for my friend's Juju's costume. Here, we have the body of the slug, just simple stripes and paint. On the back of the slug is this piece of fabric, which was made
By taking brown glue, covering your hands in borax and water, and then making a nice design and letting it dry. And then you do one last layer of Mod Podge to make it shiny.
After you finish that, you spray paint and finish. That's all done. Here you go. It's simply placed on my back and tied around.
What was it made out of to start with, girls?
Fabric.
Yeah, it was just a tablecloth.
So for my prop, we are representing the computing trees. So for the motor, we used old fans, and we hot glued plungers to make the rope spin. And for the transporting device, we used a recycled bottle and hot glued bottle caps as the wheels. So you just turn on the fan.
Go.
So I'm hyphae, and hyphae is a type of fungi, and these are my branching filaments that communicate with the Wood Wide Web and distribute information and nutrients. And so I cut up an old skirt, and then I used yarn for my skirt, and I weaved it onto a belt, and then added decorative ruffles to decorate it.
Hi, so I'm Xylem and Flo. So I'm trying to play my notes, my split personality. One was super dark, and one was super bright, like sugar, you know. So we did the Xylem by representing water, and we did this by gluing a waterfall of blue fabric to the shirt. And then Phloem, which is sugar, we did this by gluing sugar cubes to one piece of fabric and gluing it to a shirt.
This is our fan instrument. It was made using an old fan by spray painting it green and gluing leaves on it. On the inside, we had to take off the blades of the fan and just use the motor to spin this. This is an umbrella where we cut off and basically flip the entire thing inside out. It's used to support these beams so they don't spin, because the tie wraps would move if they didn't have this here. So.
brown is the color of soil, and hyphae is underground. And so to make our machine, we used a touchless ignition, also known as an umbrella, for the transmission of the origami basket, and we used an old pool noodle to prevent it from going without the touchless ignition. It measures in total 63 inches, so it's over the 5-foot mark.
Needle, which means I made it in the forest, I'm a decomposer and a recycler of organic materials, which is my entire costume theme is coffee. I use coffee grounds to make my belly, and I use the coffee grounds to also dye my shirt, my mask, and my backpack straps. I used the cups, which the coffee came in, to make my pincers, and I used some old pantyhose and stuffed it with pillow stuffing and tied it to my arm so they move whenever I do. Our pop-up bag mechanism, for the banner we used an old bed sheet and some old wood from an old art project. And this is an old water bottle, a used water bottle, and this latches on to the rope right here. And this is an old cup which slides up and down this pole when I pull the salad spinner. And this is from an old Odyssey project.
It's our 60-inch transportation device. It's a vascular tube, and you can see here we represented it by drawing the flow inside, sugar and water. Yeah. So how does our machine work? So we use sandbags to ground the piece of wood, and then for the car parts, we took a remote, like a windable car, and every time you pull back, it will simply go forward, just like a toy car.
This is our egg, one of our style elements, as you already know. On it, you can see the bee and the butterfly and the different types of plants in the sun, representing the forest, of course. But on the other side, we have a lot of flowers and roses. Unfortunately, some of them seem to be rotting. That's supposed to be representative of the orchid's virus spreading through the forest. So this is our DNA. It is the last message that we transport through our machines.